What if May 2025 isn't just another chapter in American history, but the beginning of an entirely new destiny? According to renowned psychic medium Kennedy Graham, the energy weaving through America is undergoing a profound transformation. This isn't about chaos, it's about recalibration. The future is not something to fear, it is something to step into with courage and clarity. In this video, we'll explore the hidden currents shaping this monumental shift, the spiritual contracts being activated, and the incredible opportunities now opening. America's soul is awakening, and every conscious heart is being called to rise with it. America's energy grid enters quantum recalibration. Every nation carries a living energetic grid, a subtle field linking its land, people, and purpose. In May 2025, America's grid begins a profound recalibration, a resetting at the quantum level. Old energetic patterns of division, exploitation, and fear are being unraveled, making space for higher frequencies of unity and creativity. You might notice growing sensitivity across the country, communities questioning old systems, individuals seeking deeper connection, energies feeling both chaotic and electric. This is the turbulence before stabilization, a clearing storm preparing the soil for something breathtakingly new. Kennedy explains that energetic recalibration often looks messy on the surface. Earthquakes of consciousness shake the old structures so that new pathways can emerge. Trust the process even when it feels uncomfortable. Beneath the noise, new harmonic codes are anchoring. This shift isn't driven by institutions, it's seated in everyday people. Every act of kindness, courage, forgiveness strengthens the new grid. You are not a spectator to this transformation. You are a living node in the quantum network of America's rebirth. The more you align with personal integrity, compassion, and truth, the more you amplify the new energetic template. It's not about waiting for leaders to change. It's about becoming the frequency you wish to see reflected across the land. This isn't just America being reshaped. It's America remembering who she was always meant to be. A beacon not of control, but of conscious evolution. The rise of the soul-centered communities begins. Out of the ashes of the old systems, soul-centered communities are beginning to form. These are not bound by race, religion, or political ideology. They are woven together by shared frequency, values, and vision. In 5D America, resonance replaces labels, and authenticity replaces appearances. You might start noticing small groups forming organically, communities focused on healing, permaculture, innovation, consciousness education. These seeds may seem small at first, but they are the DNA of a new civilization emerging quietly across the nation. These communities are not utopian fantasies, they are practical sanctuaries of co-creation. They function not by dominance, but by resonance. Leadership emerges naturally where wisdom is recognized and contribution is valued over status. The rise of these soul families is not random. It's being orchestrated at the higher soul levels. People are being magnetized toward each other by invisible threads of ancient agreements, ready to complete what was left unfinished across lifetimes. You won't find these communities by advertising or searching. They will find you through synchronicity. Follow the pull toward spaces where your heart feels at home, where your dreams are understood without endless explanation. In the future unfolding now, true belonging will not come from fitting in. It will come from standing in your truth and finding those who are building the same new world. Truth waves will disrupt old power structures. A profound wave of truth is rising, one that will shake loose the rotted foundations of old power structures. This is not just about exposing corruption. It's about revealing energetic dissonance wherever manipulation and fear have hidden in plain sight. Kennedy shares that truth is not an idea, it's a frequency. And as Earth's vibration rises, Anything built on distortion naturally destabilizes. Expect revelations to come not just from whistleblowers, but from collective consciousness itself awakening and demanding transparency. At first, these disruptions may feel shocking. Long-trusted figures, institutions, and systems may falter under the weight of hidden inconsistencies. Yet this is not destruction. It is sacred detox. It is the body of a nation rejecting what no longer supports its health. Stay steady. Focus not on the crumbling of old powers, but on the rising clarity within yourself. Your discernment is sharpening. Your intuition is becoming sovereign. Truth is not given from authority. It is recognized by the soul. This disruption is a sacred gift. It is clearing the space for leadership rooted not in charisma, but in integrity, not in domination, but in service. As the false collapses, the true will rise, not imposed, but invited by collective readiness. The emotional landscape of the nation reawakens. For decades, America's emotional body, the collective feeling field of the nation, has been numbed, suppressed, fractured. But in 2025, a great thawing begins. Emotions long frozen in fear, anger, grief, and hope start surfacing with undeniable force. This reawakening will be messy at times. Waves of collective grief for lost dreams, anger at old betrayals, and aching for authentic connection will sweep across communities. Don't mistake this for regression. It is resurrection, the heart of a nation remembering how to feel again. As this emotional landscape opens, true healing becomes possible. Not surface-level reconciliation, but deep soul-level repair. Vulnerability will no longer be seen as weakness. It will be honored as the gateway to authentic transformation. Your role during this time is not to suppress these emotional currents, but to ride them with consciousness. To feel fully without drowning, to listen deeply without judgment, to offer presence where others only learned to fight or flee. The more America learns to feel again, not reactively, but responsibly, the more it reclaims its original dream, a sanctuary for the soul's pursuit of liberty, truth, and wholeness. Economic systems shift toward vibrational currencies. The traditional economic models based on scarcity and control are approaching their natural expiration. In 2025, a new economic pulse begins, one where vibrational currencies gain traction. No longer measured solely by numbers, value starts aligning with integrity, creativity, and contribution to collective well-being. Kennedy explains that money in 5D energy is not static. It is fluid, responsive to consciousness itself. Abundance will no longer flow simply to those who manipulate the system, but to those who embody authenticity, service, and high-frequency creation. Energy exchange replaces rigid transaction as the foundation of prosperity. You might see experimental communities developing new barter systems, energy credits, and heart-based economies. These won't be forced revolutions. They will emerge naturally where resonance calls for a fairer, more life-honoring flow of wealth. The soul, not greed, will become the new economic compass. Old financial institutions may resist at first, attempting to tighten controls. Yet, as more people remember their sovereignty, the invisible scaffolding of fear collapses. In its place, a system based on energetic generosity, reciprocity, and stewardship will begin to rise. Abundance in this new earth will not be earned by overwork, it will be magnetized by alignment. Those who serve the greater good with joy will find the universe meeting them with abundance, because in higher frequencies, service is currency. The awakening of the sleeping starseeds in America. Throughout the fabric of America are countless souls, starseeds, who volunteered to incarnate here to assist in the great transformation. Many of them have lived in forgetfulness, hidden under layers of trauma, distraction, and survival programming. In 2025, a mass awakening of these starseeds accelerates. You may start noticing people around you undergoing rapid spiritual awakenings, questioning everything, seeking higher truths, reclaiming forgotten gifts. This is not random. It is the collective alarm clock of the mission calling them back to remembrance. Starseeds are not here to escape reality, they are here to redesign it. They carry ancient wisdom in their DNA, waiting to be activated through light, love, and soul resonance. As Earth's vibration rises, these codes are unlocking at an unprecedented rate. Their awakening may feel turbulent at first: emotional releases, identity crises, quantum leaps of understanding. Yet every storm clears the way for soul leadership to emerge. What once felt alien will begin to feel inevitable. If you are feeling the pull to remember, to rise, to create differently, you are not alone. You are part of a silent army of light, awakening precisely on time to fulfill a promise made long before birth. New leadership will emerge from unexpected places. In a world conditioned to worship charisma and titles, a new form of leadership is preparing to rise. Quiet, heart-centered, spiritually rooted. In 2025, America will begin seeing leaders emerge not from political arenas or corporate towers, but from kitchens, gardens, healing spaces, and humble communities. Kennedy often shares that true leadership in 5D is not about commanding others. It's about embodying a vibration so coherent that others naturally align with it. Authentic leaders will be those who serve without needing attention, who create without needing applause, who uplift because their soul requires it. The new leaders won't announce themselves with grandiosity. They will be recognized by the peace they carry, the solutions they offer, the inspiration they ignite. Their authority will not be demanded, it will be granted by the resonance they radiate. You might find yourself drawn to new mentors, voices, and communities that feel refreshingly real. Trust these alignments. Soul-guided leadership does not manipulate, it liberates. It reminds you of your own sovereignty rather than demanding loyalty. The era of imposed hierarchies is ending. The age of inspired leadership is beginning. And some of the greatest leaders you'll ever meet may not wear crowns. They may simply wear kindness in their eyes and courage in their hearts. Sacred contracts between citizens are being activated. Beyond laws and constitutions, there exist sacred, invisible contracts between souls who chose to incarnate together for collective missions. In May 2025, these contracts begin activating on a mass scale, calling forth alliances, partnerships, and soul families into purposeful action. You may experience sudden connections, strangers feeling like old friends, collaborations unfolding effortlessly, unexpected reunions stirring deep soul memory. These aren't coincidences. They are activations of ancient agreements made before incarnation, now ripening at the perfect moment. These contracts are not about ownership or obligation. They are about mutual empowerment. Each connection serves as a catalyst for awakening latent gifts, healing karmic loops, and accelerating individual and collective ascension. Honoring these sacred contracts requires intuition over logic. Some alliances will feel temporary but profound, others lifelong. Each plays a role in weaving the tapestry of the new Earth America is becoming. You don't have to seek them aggressively. Stay in your truth, walk your authentic path, and trust that those bound to your mission will recognize your light, and you will recognize theirs without struggle or fear. The death of false narratives accelerates. As America's energy field continues to rise, the false narratives that shaped its consciousness, stories of powerlessness, division, scarcity, begin crumbling faster than ever before. Narratives built on fear can no longer survive in the amplifying light of truth. Kennedy explains that false narratives are not just lies told externally, They are frequencies embedded in collective consciousness. When the vibration rises, these lower frequencies can no longer anchor. They must either transmute or dissolve. You'll see it everywhere. Mainstream assumptions losing their grip, collective myths exposed, long-standing illusions suddenly feeling hollow and absurd. This is not chaos. It is the natural purification of a field returning to coherence. Rather than mourning the loss of old certainties, celebrate the space being cleared. In this openness, new stories can be written. Stories rooted in unity, abundance, and spiritual freedom, rather than separation and fear. You are not powerless against falsehood. Every time you choose authenticity over fear, truth over comfort, presence over propaganda, you help dismantle the old matrix and anchor the new reality Earth is inviting us to live. America's spiritual backbone strengthens mass consciousness. Beneath the visible layers of politics, commerce, and culture, there is a deeper current, the spiritual backbone of a nation. In 2025, this backbone begins strengthening, empowering the collective consciousness of America in ways unseen before. Quiet revolutions of the spirit will ripple through homes, schools, and communities. You may notice a shift where discussions about soul purpose, consciousness, healing, and unity become more normalized even in spaces where they were once taboo. This is not because the world outside softens, it's because the world inside grows stronger. Spiritual resilience becomes the new armor. The strengthening of this spiritual backbone won't be marked by grand ceremonies, it will be felt in daily life. In the courage to speak truth, the capacity to hold compassion, and the refusal to return to fear-based narratives. The soul of America is not breaking, it is rising. Each individual who awakens to their sacred sovereignty reinforces this collective backbone. Together, silent but unstoppable, millions are weaving a new American dream, not built on survival, but on awakening. This is not revolution by protest, it's revolution by consciousness. The hidden architects of change step forward. Across America, there are countless unseen visionaries, spiritual architects who have been quietly building the blueprints of the future. In May 2025, many of these architects step forward, not to seek fame, but to anchor new systems, communities, and technologies aligned with higher consciousness. Kennedy shares that true change is rarely born from those clinging to power. It comes from those willing to serve without ego. These hidden builders carry codes for education, governance, healing, and energy systems that honor the interconnectedness of all life. Their emergence will not look like revolutions of the past. It will feel more like gardens blooming after a long winter, offering alternatives so beautiful, functional, and resonant that the old systems naturally fade into irrelevance. If you feel called to create quietly, to innovate without needing credit, know that you are part of this unseen army. Your dreams, your inventions, your seemingly small actions are building the bridges others will soon cross. A new covenant between earth and nation forms. Amidst the turbulence, a new covenant is being forged between America and the earth herself, a silent agreement to steward the land, waters, and energies with reverence. The soul of the land demands partnership, not dominion, and conscious citizens are beginning to hear her call. Environmental movements will no longer be seen as fringe. They will integrate into the cultural fabric as more people awaken to the understanding that Earth's healing and America's destiny are inseparably linked. Sacred stewardship replaces exploitation as a collective ideal. This covenant isn't merely political or legal, it's spiritual. It recognizes the earth as a living being with rights, intelligence, and purpose of her own. True patriotism will evolve into earthship citizenship, where caring for the land is seen as an act of profound national service. Through rituals, art, law, and daily choices, this covenant will be honored. And in doing so, a wounded relationship between land and people will begin its long, miraculous healing journey toward wholeness. The Heartlands become the new spiritual centers. While cities have long been seen as cultural powerhouses, in 2025, a surprising shift occurs. The spiritual energy centers of America begin migrating toward the Heartlands. Small towns, rural areas, and forgotten regions become vibrational nexuses of innovation, healing, and unity. Kennedy often shares that true power moves quietly. As urban centers wrestle with density and fragmentation, wide open spaces, tended by grounded, heart-centered souls, begin radiating frequencies of stability and renewal. The land itself becomes a teacher once again. You may find invitations, communities, and unexpected opportunities arising in places you once overlooked. Trust these pulls. The soul often finds its richest soil in the quiet places the world forgot, but the heart remembers. In the new era, spiritual epicenters will not be built by skyscrapers. They will be seeded by song, prayer, farming, community, and reverence for the unseen. America's rebirth will not shout from its capitals, it will sing from its roots. Energy medicine and quantum healing expand publicly. As old models of healthcare strain under the weight of outdated paradigms, a quiet revolution in healing begins to take hold. In 2025, energy medicine and quantum healing modalities start stepping from the fringes into public consciousness, no longer dismissed as fringe, but embraced as vital. You will see more discussions about frequency healing, light therapies, biofield tuning, and sound medicine entering even conservative spaces. This isn't pseudoscience, it's the reawakening of ancient knowledge in a language the modern world can finally hear and understand. The human body is not just chemical, it is electromagnetic, vibrational, and multidimensional. True healing comes not merely from treating symptoms, but from addressing the energy patterns beneath disease. This understanding will reshape how America cares for the body, mind, and spirit. As more souls awaken to their role as self-healers, dependency on external authority lessens. Empowerment through energy work, conscious breath, quantum nutrition, and sacred sound will become new pillars of a thriving society built on wholeness, not endless management of dysfunction. Youth consciousness ignites a wave of renewal. The youth of America are carrying codes for transformation that the older generations sometimes cannot fully see yet. In 2025, a great ignition occurs. A wave of young souls, born into higher frequencies, step boldly into visibility, demanding evolution at every level. Kennedy teaches that the next generation is not here to fix the old world. They are here to build a new one entirely. Their consciousness naturally resists outdated systems. Their souls refuse to inherit broken templates. They are fierce not out of rebellion, but out of remembrance. These young beings are highly sensitive, wildly creative, and often misunderstood. Yet within their hearts burns the blueprint for societies rooted in empathy, justice, and multidimensional wisdom. They are not naive, they are remembering ways of being that humanity almost forgot. Expect to see movements, innovations, and cultural shifts that seem to appear overnight, fueled by their refusal to settle for less than authentic change. They will not seek permission, they will embody new realities by living them fearlessly. Supporting this new wave means listening with reverence, offering guidance without control, and protecting the sacred fire they carry until it becomes the beacon that lights the way for all. The era of fear-based control systems ends. As the collective consciousness continues rising, fear as a tool of control begins losing its potency. Systems built on manipulation, intimidation, and emotional dependency start crumbling. not because of external revolts, but because enough individuals refuse to vibrate in fear anymore. The awakening soul simply stops feeding the structures that demand loyalty through anxiety. Fear narratives lose traction. Threats lose power. This quiet withdrawal of energy starves the old system far more effectively than conflict ever could. The world doesn't need more wars to defeat fear. It needs more hearts anchored in trust, clarity, and higher vision. As America's frequency rises, control mechanisms that once seemed invincible will begin to collapse under the weight of their own irrelevance. This ending is not a tragedy. It is a homecoming. A return to natural law, where alignment replaces obedience, authenticity replaces coercion, and unity replaces manufactured division. Freedom, once an external political slogan, becomes an internal spiritual reality. Collective memory healing unlocks a new destiny. America carries deep memory wounds, ancestral traumas, cultural betrayals, and buried dreams. But 2025 marks the beginning of a profound collective memory healing process. Not forgetting the past, but alchemizing it into wisdom that fuels a brighter future. Kennedy shares that healing doesn't erase history, it liberates it from being a chain. Through ceremonies, storytelling, reconciliation, and personal inner work, collective memories once laced with pain begin to transform into sacred threads of resilience, creativity, and new vision. This healing is subtle yet unstoppable. It moves not through decrees, but through the quiet courage of individuals choosing forgiveness over vengeance, understanding over judgment, creation over regret. As collective memory clears, new soul agreements emerge. America's destiny is rewritten not by forgetting its darkness, but by using it as compost for an era of illumination, compassion, and co-creation that the founding dream only glimpsed but never fully achieved. Each healed memory, each reclaimed dream, becomes a building block for a new national soul, one that sings not of domination, but of unity in infinite diversity. True healing of a nation's memory happens not when its wounds are hidden, but when they are seen with compassionate clarity. As more souls awaken, America's fragmented stories, its struggles, victories, and silent sacrifices, will begin weaving themselves into a new tapestry, one that honors every voice, every lineage, and every lesson, transforming collective shame into collective strength and opening a future no longer burdened by the weight of unhealed history. The phoenix rises. America's higher blueprint activates. The symbol of the phoenix, death, rebirth, transcendence, has never been more fitting for America than in 2025. Out of the ashes of disillusionment, conflict, and broken systems, something ancient and luminous stirs, the true soul blueprint of the nation finally beginning to activate. This higher blueprint is not political, it is spiritual. It was seated at the founding, hidden beneath human flaws, waiting for a collective awakening strong enough to remember it. It speaks not of domination, but of unity across diversity, of liberty rooted in soul sovereignty, of leadership through light rather than force. The phoenix does not rise by denying the fire. It rises by surrendering fully to it, allowing the old form to die so that something unprecedented can emerge. America's higher destiny could never be born through incremental change. It required transformation so total that nothing false could remain. You will feel this rising not just in the headlines or the policies, but in the subtle shifts. The way strangers start treating each other with unexpected kindness, the way forgotten dreams rekindle in ordinary hearts, the way new possibilities seem to shimmer just beyond the edge of vision. The phoenix energy doesn't just rebuild institutions, it rewires collective imagination. It invites artists, healers, teachers, visionaries, and dreamers to step forward and co-create a society where soul expression is honored, where love is a strategy, and where wisdom, not fear, guides decision-making. This new America will not erase its past. It will redeem it. Every tear shed, every injustice survived, every hope deferred becomes sacred fuel for a nation finally willing to see itself clearly and choose differently. The shadows integrated become wings. The pain transformed becomes light. As the phoenix rises, so too does an invitation to every soul within its borders. Will you cling to the ashes of what was, or will you rise into the promise of what can be? The choice will not be made by governments alone. It will be made, moment by moment, by the rising hearts of the people.